I fixed my hair gray so that I would be more distinguished. I figured then you won't notice the mark of the beast on my forehead. But people look at everything, they notice everything you got around you, even on the table. They look at the background when they got a little zoom going on. And here I got this COVID-19 anti-aging test, I thought it was. It's an antigen self-test that I bought. I took this and I found out I'm pregnant. Well, you can't, sometimes they mix up the drugs. At Walgreens, I'm pregnant. Over at CVS, I'm in a training program. Do I get rid of this gray? Yeah, this is not my real hair. Come on, I have that Pat Sajak blonde, which is called Arctic blonde. It's on the way to something. But no, it's not gray. I mean, really honest, I don't dye my hair. Why would I do that? So I want to look older because I believe in ageism. I think when you get so old, then they start giving you everything free, and they start helping you if you have a walker, and if you have a wheelchair, you get on the plane first. You have to look like you really can't move too much. And then everybody comes and wants to help you. They want to do too much. They want to do all of your gym work too. I used to have someone work out for me, so I didn't have to sweat. Now I like the recovery process of this country. I think it's exciting that we're all able to get together and not figure anything out. See, nobody knows where this is going, how it is going, where it's going to end, and I know nothing at all, and yet I have to act as if I have composed myself and I have authority, like the news. They ought to have, instead of breaking news, they ought to have SOS, which is breaking the news with SOS. Same old shit. That's what it is. Are we able to say shit on the air? I don't know anymore because there were 7 words. I mean, we've been over this before. George Carlin came up with it as a routine, 7 of the words, but there's so many more that are offensive now. I mean, we must have 40 words that are going to offend somebody. It used to be just 7 of them, and you know what they all are. They're usually sexual words. And commands, like go F yourself, that's a command. It's not necessarily sexual. There's other things that are non-sexual, but I can't say them. You're not supposed to say any of those words. You can't say tit. You're not supposed to say anything like that. And if you do that, then you have to start talking about cock, and you don't want to do any of this stuff. If you bring these words into play, then the FCC will come along and they will censor you. Of course, those guys never use that language. When they get caught, they have to resign usually. See, the governor of New York is now a woman, and she is going to change everything. And I'm thinking, well, she's not going to go and touch anybody's penis. I don't think. Well, maybe she will. She may be one of those. I don't know. But I think that somewhere we have to realize that we have a woman in charge, and she's going to have good manners. The governor before was probably put out of there because he was too popular. They get rid of, when you're too famous, you got to go. You know that, right? And speaking of that, the radio and the television industry being in such trouble, they're all in denial, and that's not a river. They sit there and pretend that everything is just lovely and wonderful, but they jam 400 commercials in a 5-minute space. I've never seen anything like it. It's like when we did in college, when we stuffed people in a phone booth. This is how they do it on television. They put all these people in a commercial. How do you have all these commercials? The other night I was watching a newscast, and I don't know whether to shit or go blind, So I decided to go blind. I turned the TV off. There's no way that I could possibly be interested in a half hour of news with 15 minutes of it being commercials. No way. I mean, and I've been in the business all my life. I wouldn't do that to my public when I was on the air. I would never play that many commercials. I go to management and tell them to stuff it. See, they wanted to shorten the records. So at one time, I edited them down. I took the records down. Jay Sorensen and I did this on our radio station. We did this. We took the 45 RPMs that were about 2.5 minutes long, and we made them a minute long. I called them mini spins. And then what else did we do? We did something else that was, we sped up the turntable so that it'd go faster. So when you're listening to the twist, like Chubby Checker, you're doing another dance. Yeah, we had a different kind of a world back then. We tried to fool people with cleverness. Now they're just blatant about it. They're all blatant homosexuals, every one of them. They come out and they do this thing, this dance. I don't know how we have let all this go by and still complain only about sexual acting out and some of the words I just used. See, the words I just used are the ones that we don't want to have on television and radio, but they're the ones that best express what these people have done and are doing. The government, for instance, is guiltier of the Congress and the Senate has screwed more people than Bill Cosby. they have drugged more people to screw them than Bill Cosby. Now, can you imagine me saying that on the late news? Here's the CBS News with Joey Reynolds. Hey, you know what? Bill Cosby didn't screw as many people as not going to fly. Not going to fly. They don't want to have comedy either. See, a lot of this is really offensive to people. If you get a laugh, people get mad because they have no sense of humor. It's the 7 dwarfs. There are 7 of those different personalities. Cleverly, am I scratching my face too much? Cleverly, I think it's that stuff from made my hair look grayer. It's itching. So Walt Disney had figured it out. There's 7 of those characters, and each of them represents something that's really dumber than dumb. Sneezy, someone who's always grumpy, dopey. Now you know who they are. All these dwarfs, right? They represented a slice of life in this culture. And the one grumpy like this, that's the dwarf that would fold his arms. Now they don't dare make these people black. We're going to be in trouble. And the language that black people still carry on television, like Steve, what's his name, does that Family Feud show. Hey everybody, come on, this is the lazy slang talk that we're doing so that we can relate. You know what I mean? Relate. And I'm thinking to myself, I spent 100 years saving money, going to college, going to school, getting rid of my Buffalo accent, using elocution so that I might be able to fit into the money world and to the society of broadcasters so I could be an announcer. And all of a sudden this guy comes on TV and says, hey everybody, and then you got that other one, that other moron that says, this is what I do. But that's an imitation of Nipsey Russell, whom I happen to love incidentally. He passed away. He used to rhyme everything, remember him? But this culture that we have now that we're adopting so that we could have inclusion, it's like full of crap. The fact of the matter is that people are going to be people anyway, and you should just hire people because of what they do, what they know, what we can learn from them, how we can have fun with them. That's how you hire people. You don't hire them because there's a certain amount of black people. I remember that guy during the, what did they call that when you had to hire a certain amount of color and Mexicans and ethnic persuasion. I don't even know what to call it. But when the human resources, they had to have a certain amount of non-whites that you hire. That's what it was, non-Caucasian. And I remember the president of General Electric had says, how many we have? And he said, we have 35,000. And he said, how many we're required to have? He says, only 30,000. He said, so fire 5,000. Now that's a joke. It's not serious, and it didn't really happen. It's only a gag. But see, you can't do that anymore. Because if you tell something, it's offensive. Everything's offensive. Everybody's offended. I got offended at one of my dreams this morning. I bitch slapped myself awake. I said, hey, I don't want that. The good thing about dreams is that you wake up and pee. Is that another word you can't use? Piss. Yeah, I've used every single word except the C word. Now there's a C word that you can't use that's the most offensive of all those 7 words, the C word. And it's used commonly about men describing women. It's can't. I can't do that. All right, it's enough. You've had enough of my lessons today. Come back for more of this if I'm still allowed. I'm going to face the book, face the nation, face the book. I would love to have a conversation with somebody who's really somebody that wants to use all those words in one sentence. That'll be the end of my career. But hey, wait, my career already ended. I'm coming back for a second round. Oh God, did the polo pony jump off of my shirt? That's it. It's a Reynolds wrap.